Hey guys, we're back for some more Standard, and currently here at rank Mythic 270, and I rebuilt my mono red aggro double dragon deck, and really been enjoying it. It's been doing really well, and yeah, I just kind of wanted to do a couple more games, and it felt great. And let's get some more games in here. The link for the list is going to be in the description, and maybe after this game I'll just sort of take a quick snapshot of it here for you so you can see it. But basically kind of the deck revolves around all 4 Shivan Devastators, 3 Godric's, and then 3 Invasions of Tarkir to really kind of get things going. And it's been playing really well against kind of other aggro decks. The Devastators are also nice against control. Again, having that haste sort of out of nowhere damage is really nice. And so here we are, I guess, in a mirror match. And yeah, I've just been really enjoying the deck. Alright, so we can hold Lightning Strike for whatever they play on turn 2. And I feel like that's a little better than just playing out the Chick this turn. Because I think, you know, they're going to have a decent threat here, and getting rid of it is worth it. So that way we'll be able to Godric on turn 3. Yeah, I think I just want to push damage here. I guess there's a chance that they go like Swift Spear here, and then they would be able to have like a Monstrous Rage or something like that, but since they put it on a Chick, I'm not sure if we want to waste a Lightning Strike here. It does give us some tempo, but they could have like Squee on turn 3, which is real. Although we want to kind of get Godric going anyways, so maybe we just bolt it right now. Yeah, this is kind of an interesting position here with the way they did this. So I think let's just maybe bolt it. Yeah, because now they can like respond to play with fire here, and that's fine. But like they wouldn't be able to Monstrous Rage their way out of that. Now we can get Godric going. This does open us up a little bit to Squee on turn 3, which hopefully they don't have, but they certainly could. And I guess they've got their own Godric here. So we could just go like Swift Spear plus Phoenix Chick. We could also use tokens in here to get 2 tokens going. I think with the opening here, maybe we want to like Swift Spear plus Phoenix Chick plus Rage. Since there's going to be no response, then we can tokens in next turn just to get the Godric going. So I kind of like that line. We are pushing a lot of damage here and sort of demanding tough answers. We also could just pump for 1 point of damage. The Rage is pretty sweet. Yeah, this is kind of tough. Maybe we just pump once here and then just save this for next turn. Because if we were to play this, this would give us an extra 3. So we'd be looking at 7, 9, 10, dropping it into 5 would be pretty great. But I guess having the Trick is kind of nice too. I think, yeah, maybe let's be a little cagey here, and I think that's okay. So they are going to be a little bit higher life total, but we still have our Trick. Yeah, now I'll be able to use Monstrous Rage to get over the top of this Scoundrel. So are we able to get lethal? This is going to give us 3. This will give us 4. Yeah, so They block here, we'll have 4 points of trample damage. 5, 6, not enough. So if we hold the Epicure back to block their Godric, we're still taking, if they don't block, potentially 2, 3, 5, unless they've got some more stuff in hand, which is certainly possible. It's a little tough. I think maybe we push here and then try to hold back with Epicure. Could also hold back Swift Spear and try to get the damage in here on the Phoenix Chick, and then just use this to chump, push for this turn, and then they'll have to try to block in the air. We will need to draw a little bit more gas, but yeah, I guess let's threaten and see what they do. Yeah, okay, so I think we do Rage here, just to get the extra damage in. Now we can drop them to 2, and then hopefully hold them back. Set up for a draw. So if they've got removal here, we're kind of done. Have to block here. Then they've either got the burn or they don't. Did have the Monstrous Rage. That's unfortunate. So I don't know if playing it differently would have been better. I think we might have still lost just due to the Monstrous Rage. It's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, if you see different lines, definitely, you know, certainly feel free to put it in the comments. If you see like a different way, just, you know, just be respectful with your comments. But yeah, I definitely would love to hear if you see other lines. Also, guys, if you're new to my channel and you do like the content, please consider subscribing. It really does mean a lot to me, and I appreciate you guys quite a bit. For my returning viewers, thank you so much again for being here. I appreciate you guys. You are the lifeblood of the channel for sure. All right, opening hand looks great. So yeah, getting down to the last couple days of the month, I really do like this build of mono red, and this is a nice way to kind of get some fast games in if you like really quick aggro decks. I will also try to put in a budget version that doesn't have any rares or mythic rares for you to look at, to try out. I know one of my viewers mentioned kind of wanting budget versions and possibly even playthroughs with budget versions, and so I hear you, and I like that idea, and I appreciate you. So we'll see if we can get your request answered there. So we go Kumano here. I kind of like Invasion on 2, so that's another possibility if we like lead out with Chick, but I think Kumano is just so good that I'm happy to get this going. This also lines up really well with like Godric on 3. And even if we don't get to play like the creature here and get the extra counter, I think it's still worth getting that Kumano out. So yeah, here I think we do Invasion of Tarkir, take out the Baron, just because the lifelink is just such a problem. It has to be, demands an answer immediately. This way, if we draw into land, we're also representing 5 damage with our Kumano plus Godric. Okay, that's a nice pickup. And then we've got a backup Godric here also. And then happy to make a trade here with the Evangelist with Kumano, since we do have the exile effect. So we're going to send them both in at the invasion to try to get this going. Okay, Devastator is really nice to see also. Oh, that's pretty nasty. So we have a couple options here. We can Phoenix Chick to flip this and then kind of get like Scoundrel going and start pushing. We are at 12, so that is worth considering. But I think that that's fine since we're going to have the dragon here. And this guy is just kind of trouble, so getting the Vampire Noble out of here feels good. Kind of slow the game down a little bit, which I like. We don't want anything else building. So I think maybe let's do that. So let's go Phoenix Chick here. Lightning Strike the Socialite. Flip the invasion. If we were really worried, we could have held Godric back too, because I guess if they get rid of Thundermaw here, then we do take some damage, so we could have potentially held back the Godric, but I think this is okay. So they're representing... I don't know if this deck runs like Lightning Strike or something like that. Maybe another like Vampire Socialite. They could also have Cut Down. So if I do block, they could get into like Cut Down range. So I kind of want to block the 1/1 since this will be a 3/3 and won't be in Cut Down range. They could also have, I suppose, like Monstrous. So if we just take 6 here, we drop to 6. I think it's pretty safe. And next turn, this comes in. We can even get it going, and I don't think they can push an extra 6 out of nowhere. So I think we actually maybe don't block just to stay safe. Pit Fighter, okay. Okay, so they did have the Socialite. So yeah, maybe blocking there would have been better. So if we could Swift Spear plus Devastator as a 1/1, and then that'll get Godric in the air as a dragon. We'll have 3 dragon triggers. We can kill the Socialite and either like the Falconwrath Pit Fighter, or we could just kill these 3 creatures and then have these 2 back. We're pushing 4, 8, 9, 10. So actually we just kill them in the air with the 3 triggers. So I think actually this is going to work great. Alright, send all these in, and this should be enough. Because, yeah, we've got 4, 8, 10, 16 exactly. But yeah, I guess I just haven't seen that deck, so I was thinking like maybe they have like Monstrous Rage or something, and like if we just take the damage, we can just do something insane like that. So don't know if that was the best play, but it seemed like kind of the safest option given sort of what we knew about the deck so far. Yeah, this hand looks amazing. We've got Kumano on 1, and then Swift Spear plus Phoenix Check. Yeah, it looks great. Another mirror match here. Okay, nothing on 2. So it looks like they are waiting with the Lightning Strike. Given that, we could... actually, we should probably go Swift Spear here, because then, even if they Lightning Strike, we can respond with Play with Fire. So I think that's maybe the play. Swift Spear and then leave the mana open. And we hold it in case they've got Squee. Yeah, they had the Lightning Strike for sure. Definitely the right move there. Ooh, Imodane's Recruiter. That's nasty. Alright, so I think we want to get rid of Kumano since we don't want the exile effects. Since Imodane's will now just be a 2/2. I guess we can wait for them to attack. It doesn't really matter. We can don't tip our hand just yet, but yeah, we'll get rid of their Kumano. Now, I think they could have Godric. We could hold back Lightning Strike, but I think we can also just kind of go face here a little bit. Could go Phoenix Chick plus Epicure. We're at 17. Lightning Strike is probably the safest play. And just sort of start wearing them down a little bit. I guess if we get like Lightning Strike face, hit them for 6/9. They drop pretty low. They can like Devastator and try to clean up. They could still have some pretty nasty stuff though. Huh. Yeah, I think actually... Yeah, I do kind of like just being a little bit aggressive here. Because even if they have, like, Godric next turn, we're still at 13. So I think we just get aggressive and push, get the extra point off the Swift Spear this turn. Drop him down into the red zone. Yeah, put him on the back foot. This feels great. Now we can devastate for 3, keeping it out of play with fire range. I think at 11 we're still in a safe enough spot where we can send everything. Like, they could blow us out with Monstrous Rage here, but it's on defense, so I'm less worried about it. Okay, and they had the Witchstalker's Frenzy, sure. So Witchstalkers was definitely nasty there. But we do have a nice lead on life. And the Monstrous Rage is going to be great here. Yeah, they could have the... Let's see. Let's do Epicure first. See how they respond. I think we wait for some kind of removal here. We don't walk into the Lightning Strike. Okay, perfect. That should do it. All right, let me show you kind of a budget version of this, slightly different version, but a budget version of Mono Red, which is, I think, going to be quite a bit of fun. So, yeah, thanks, guys, for watching the initial deck there. And let's take a quick look at the stats before I switch over. Okay, I did have to rebuild this deck, so it doesn't have all of the match data from my previous video. But I do have 13 matches here. It is currently 10 wins and 3 losses, so 77% win rate. Very happy with this deck so far. The Mono Red match here is kind of interesting. Yeah, as you could see, it definitely is kind of very variable. But most of the matches are pretty strong, so feeling good about the deck in general. And again, the link to the list will be in the description. So let's hop into the other deck that I wanted to show you, the budget version of Mono Red. So this one here is like my Mono Red Artisan deck. So this is comprised only of commons and uncommons. So again, if you are having trouble building the full deck with rares or mythics, this is going to be maybe something fun to try. This is a little bit of a different take on Mono Red. So it's not maybe your kind of standard just get there. And it kind of looks to the success of the Boros Convoke deck. So I do have Gleeful Demolition in this version. Again, this is only made up of commons and uncommons. So you're running 20 basic mountains for your land sources. You have 4 Imidane's Recruiter at the top end to kind of pump everything up and try to win the game. 4 Ral's Reinforcements, which makes 2/1/1 tokens and is another way to kind of go wide to power up for the big swing. And then I have a couple different creatures that create artifacts that help with Gleeful Demolition. So this one is kind of interesting. It's a Horned Stone Seeker, which is 1 red and 1 other, 2/2 Menace, and then when it enters the battlefield, you create a tapped Power Stone token. So those Power Stone tokens can only be used to cast artifact spells. So it's fairly useless, but it can be sacked to Gleeful Demolition. So it's kind of a fun way to enable that card a little bit more. And it's also Menace, so it's slightly evasion, 2/2 for 2. I think it fits right into this deck. In our 1-drop, we have Mishra's Research Desk, which I have seen in some Mono Red decks. But basically the point here is that you can play the desk, use it to look at the top 2 cards, either sacrifice it the normal way, or you can play the desk and then Gleeful Demolition the desk and then bring it back with Unearth to kind of get more advantage and more nonsense. You have 4 Gleeful Demolition, which when you destroy the artifact that you own, you can create 3 1/1 Phyrexian Goblin creature tokens. So it's a great way to kind of go wide. You have 4 Kumano Faces Kakazan, a staple in the mono red deck, and same with Swift Spear and Monstrous Rage. And then these are all staples in your full version of the mono red deck. You've also got 4 Valdaran Epicure, which does make that blood token, which is an artifact, which can be destroyed with Gleeful Demolition to give you some guys. Also, it's just a very aggressive 1-drop here for this type of deck. And then lastly, I chose to include 4 copies of Rabbit Battery, which is a 1/1 haste artifact creature. So again, it can be a target of Gleeful Demolition. And you can also reconfigure it to essentially make it equipment, to put it on another creature, to give that creature +1/+1 and haste. So it fits right into the curve. Yeah, this is the deck, and we are going to go ahead and I'm going to do a couple games here. I'm not going to run them on ladder just because I am trying to hit top 250 right now, and we're very close. But I will take them through a couple like play games. But you can certainly run this on ladder if you are just trying to level up and you don't have rares or mythics. So let's take a quick peek at some of these games. So what I might do, maybe in another video, is I could take it through like a standard event queue or something like that. Right now, I'm just going to do some games that are play. But I do want to kind of showcase the deck, and I think it actually will be decent, even though it's only made up of commons and uncommons. It's still pretty fast, and it can have some pretty explosive draws, so I love the draw that we've got right here. Even if you don't have the creature on turn 2, I think Kumano Faces Kakazan is such a powerful card that you just want to get that going immediately. Okay, and very happy to go double Kumano Faces Kakazan this turn. They certainly could have the counter here, so it's a nice way to kind of spread out our threats, and happy to get this going. Now, it'd be really nice if we drew into a creature for next turn to kind of get these extra counters, but even if we don't, we have a bunch of haste 2/2s coming out. So this is a really nice pickup. There's a Rabbit Battery. And we can go ahead and try to resolve our Rabbit Battery. All right, now we've got the Monstrous Rage, so let's go ahead and see if we can connect. They might have like Elspeth's Smite or something like that. So I'm a little bit leery here. I think I'm just gonna pass just because they've got open mana. And then we can research desk in case they decide to do nothing. Void Rend, okay, so we'll take this time to Monstrous Rage our Kumano. And we still have a lot of heat coming here on our next turn. There's the Gleeful Demolition, so very excited to see the combo here. Since we are up against Esper Control, it's very likely that they have some sort of board wipe next turn. So I think I'm going to be a little bit hesitant on doing that right now, but maybe after next turn after they try to board wipe. Let's start with just pushing here and seeing if they've got like Emperor. Soul Partition, sure. So given that they're getting rid of some of this stuff, they may not have a board wipe. They might still have one, because this is a lot of damage coming in. But you can try to sneak in a Monstrous Rage here. And looks like they have a second piece of removal. Which is unfortunate. But we can at least set up our research desk to kind of get this Gleeful Demolition going. There's our money card, our our recruiter to try to end the game. So let's get Demolition going. I guess since it's a little bit mana inefficient, we can't both use that and sack it to this. So maybe let's just Reinforcements this turn. It's a little bit weaker, but it does kind of use our mana a little bit better. Yeah, so this would present, I guess, slightly more of a threat, but I think I'm going to try to just go with the efficient mana play here. This still does give us lethal if they don't have removal. Okay, there's the Sunfall. So they did have the board wipe. Now we can Gleeful. The thing is, we can also Gleeful their Incubator token if we want to do that. We could just try to use the desk and find something else to do this turn. I think Gleeful is still pretty strong here. Otherwise, we could try to set up for Kumano. That seems like a weaker play, though. Yeah, I think I'm just going to Gleeful and then Unearth. Okay, and I can't remember, with the Unearth ability, does that just put it back on? Well, I've never used Mishra's Research Desk before, so it's kind of a new card to me, but I think it maybe shuffles it back in or something. I'm not entirely sure. At any rate, we are happy to try to go wide here and start with the first Recruiter. So they do have the counterspell here, unfortunately. We're going to try again here in another turn. Okay, we could go Reinforcements. So if we push with Recruiter, we're pushing 6, which is still pretty good. We don't have any like direct damage though, so we might want to try to go a bit wider first. If they have another like board wipe though, it's pretty awkward. So I'm a little leery of that. So I think maybe we try to go wide. Set up, hope it works out. Okay, they did have another board wipe, unfortunately. So now that we're at 4 mana, I think let's get the Kumano faces Kakazan going. And then we can try to get Recruiter for a little bit extra value next turn. Now they're going to just try to refill here with their Memory Deluge. So we'll play the extra mountain here in case they've got, like, Make Disappear. And they have more removal. But at least they didn't get to Memory Deluge again. Alright, I think we're going to lead out here, then we'll play this after combat. They have just got nothing but gas here. That was nice being able to take out the Emperor there, though. Here they have... So it must be like a Super Friends deck. This is going to be rough, though. The gain 3, lose 3 every turn. And then they've got Sunset Revelry. Yeah, this is not looking good. Yeah, unfortunately we can't even really compete with just the Kaya by itself. This game is kind of spiraling out of control. But, you know, I was happy to kind of showcase it a little bit. Yeah, so this one's over. But I do like the deck. I do think, you know, again, this is a much more underpowered version than like a full deck that has access to rares and mythics. But here is the list for the mono red artisan deck. Again, to look at with just commons and uncommons, and I'll link that in the description as well. And then you've got the full version of Double Dragon here, the one that I ran the first couple games with. Listed right here, and that'll be in the description as well. So anyways, thanks guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. I really appreciate you, and again, if you like my content, consider subscribing.